Peace, y'all. DJ Klyph coming at you, man. In here on lockdown. It's COVID-19, yo. It's crazy. I smile and laugh about it, but the truth of the matter is, man, I hope everybody is doing well, locked in, taking care of yourselves, taking care of your family. That's what we got to do right now, man. But I'm back to bring you another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. Had a chance to chop it up with a couple of homies from Portland, DJ PHNM and the homie Pierre Jury. They came through. We talked about Dripset. It's one that we've been working on getting together for a minute. And, you know, the whole lockdown situation happened. So we couldn't do it the way that we was going to. But you know how we do, man. We figured out a way to bring it together. And so, yeah, man. Another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. With DJ PHNM, Pierre Jury, talking about Dripset. It's going to be a good one. So, yeah, man, you know, pull up. It's the Klyph Notes podcast. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Akepele Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Akepele, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out akepele.com. That's AKEPELE.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show you're about to listen to may contain explicit content. So guess what? You need to put them babies to sleep. This is for grown folks only. So we're not held liable for anything you might be offended by. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. This is like the COVID-19 rewind. It's one of the dope things about technology, man. I'll give y'all a behind the scenes later on. But the Klyph Notes podcast is available wherever you listen to your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and of course at klyphnotes.com. A bunch of dope programming, dope interviews that have been out there for a minute, not because of me, but because of all of the crazy cool people I had an opportunity to build with over the years, man. And today is no different. There's an interview that I did last year, I believe it was, and it's cool to have like the family connect on this one. If you haven't checked out the J Jury episode of the Klyph Notes podcast, it's definitely a really good one. We talked a little bit prior to him rocking Mic Check, talked about his album, and now I have an opportunity to have fam connected on the Klyph Notes podcast as a part of a new program, a new opportunity that's happening in the city. But let me let a couple cats introduce themselves.
Yo, what up? My name's Pierre Jury, creator of things, creator of events, brand relations, all that good stuff. Just end of the people trying to make cool shit happen.
That's what's up. Also on the line.
Hey, what's up? It's Colin Reeby, Phenom, the other half of Dripset, DJ, producer, provocateur.
That's what's up. Yo, all right, man. I got it. Like full disclosure, bro. We was like a good 15, 20 minutes into the interview, and like we had to start over because your boy didn't hit record. But that's all right though. We in here. We literally in here because we can't go outside right now. But yo, so oh, yo, Pierre, like I was saying, bro, I had an opportunity to build with you, really in great part through building a relationship with Jay. You've moved out here to Portland, man, and jumped into building events, and like not events just in like, oh, you know, I'm out here, I'm big promoter, whatever, but like building community, which I think is a really dope approach and a real organic approach to just building with folk, man. And I asked earlier, man, like where does that come from? Sort of that idea of let me find ways to bring people together, but do it through an event.
I it started kind of like when I used to run a store in San Diego. It was like a boutique store, and there was just things that I wanted to kind of do to separate ourselves from everybody else.
Yeah.
And I had a couple friends who did really cool artwork and stuff, so I kind of just brought them all together and just did a random events to see how it was, and it was well accepted. And now those guys are like doing just major things in the world, and it was just kind of cool to link with them before any of it popped off. But that's kind of where it came from. It was just being able to create things with cool people and just watch them grow and prosper and stuff. So I kind of brought that to Portland, and that was what I wanted to do, just do that on a bigger level and just do cool shit with my friends, to be honest. Like, it doesn't get any deeper than that. Everything I've ever done, I've been passionate about. It's fun to do it. A lot of it I'm not getting paid to do it. Like, a lot of it's free. But it's just fun, and I meet a lot of good people, get a lot of people in the community involved, which is awesome because I can see other people shine. I'm like, it comes from a genuine place. Like, I'm not out here trying to reap any benefits. I'm just trying to like give people different options to do in the city. So, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And it's been cool, man. Like I mentioned earlier, I had an opportunity to be a part of the garage sale event that you did in Chinatown last year, which was really dope, bringing people together, outdoor event. And so I appreciate you giving me those opportunities, man. You know what I'm saying? I think oftentimes coming in from outside, trying to figure out who to connect with, and I just big ups to you, bro, for the work that you've done thus far.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming out and helping out with that.
Word.
That was a good time.
Word up, man. And then have had an opportunity to build with your partner in crime. He's been like super, super cool. Just getting to know and to watch. Talented cat in his own right. Phenom has been working in Portland for a minute, spinning at local venues. You've been on the DJ game for a while, right?
Yeah, I'm coming up on like 10 or 11 years. Been DJing, it's full time. So when something like this strikes, we got to start to plan some other things.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like the impact that something like this has on people in such, like, there's no time to figure out a plan B if you didn't have something already in the chamber, because things have happened so quickly, man. So when you're doing music full time, it's got to be it's just got to be hard, man, to not do what you do.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is uncharted territory for the whole music community,
right?
The whole nightlife community, bartenders, owners, everything. This is just like uprooted everything we've been doing, and even with Dripset, so now we got to kind of plan what's next, and not know when we're coming back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, which is just, it's so crazy. But let's talk about that, man. So for folk who don't know, what is Dripset?
Dripset is a nightlife, music and nightlife industry meetup. We host it once a month, last Wednesday of the month, down in Chinatown. It's an awesome opportunity to network, to build, to find that missing piece of your project. DJs, producers, models, actors, photographers, people that go out, even if you just have a project and you're like, this is what I do, you're guaranteed to make a couple new fans of your project and people that support what you do. We've been lucky enough to have a community that we're building, of some very, very talented people, yourself included, Klyph, and it's really taken off.
Which is crazy. So, but like, where did the idea of doing this come from? Because I've had an opportunity I've been in Portland for 20 plus years and been really working with the local music community for over a decade, and the way that you guys have put this together, the way that I've seen it come together, it's so different than what I've seen in the past, in terms of people looking for like meetups and then have something come from that. But where did the concept of doing Dripset come from?
It was really random, actually. I've always had like this idea of doing something around music, because obviously my brother does music, and I just wanted to find a way to kind of help him out. But last New Year's, I was at the New Year's party at Fortune, and Phenom was spinning, just pulled up and said, "What's up?" And he's just like, "Yo, I got this idea. I think you'd be the perfect person to kind of help make it happen. I'm gonna make a spot to like bring people together. That's not really like always in the bar." And I'm like, "Okay, bet. Like, I already have it planned out. Like, let's talk when it's not in the middle of a New Year's party." Like, so that's kind of how the idea came rolling. And we were just lucky enough to be connected with some really creative people, and also really just excited people to be a part of it. So we just kind of did the first one. Maybe had like 15 people show up. We didn't even think we were gonna have that many people show up. We did the second one to where like we had like 60 people show up, and I was just like, "Oh, damn, all right, cool." So we're working. We had one scheduled for like Chicago. We had one scheduled for this month. It's a lot much bigger, and it's just the ball's just rolling. It's like there's no real path of it. We're just like, "Yo, pull up, like pull up. Let's just see what happens." So
yeah. People appreciate that they can come in, and we don't talk the whole time. We talk for just a fraction of the time because we want to hear what you're working on. We pass the ball around the room and say, "What's your project? What are you looking for? How can we help you?"
Which is dope. And again, I appreciate the platform that you guys gave to me. The one the last one that you guys did in February was so cool. It was the night before Mic Check, and you guys gave me that platform to let folk know that Mic Check is back. But then also to talk about the radio show. The homie Ambush was there. You gave him the platform to talk about The Numbers, which is the new urban radio station in Portland. So I can definitely speak to that. Like, I've witnessed how you guys, it's really just a platform. It's really just, hey, these are, this is a place for you to build and connect with other people, which is exciting. It's one of the things that I've tried to do with DJ Klyph Productions is just try to find ways to bring people together, to bring that MC and that DJ who you think would be dope on a project together, or to know that artist who's looking for a videographer and just put them in the same room and kind of see what comes and what happens from that. The connections that you guys have outside of the city obviously made it easy. I don't know if easy is the right word, but created the idea of bringing Dripset even outside of Portland. This thing seems to like be happening, well, aside from where we are right now, but it seemed to be happening really, really fast in terms of growth, man. And like you said, Pierre, it's kind of, let's just put it out there and see what happens. But you mentioned a couple spots. Can you run down one more time the cities that are on deck for hosting a Dripset?
We
right. Oh, go ahead.
We talked about this. We're kind of open to a lot of things right now. We really wanted to like focus and lock down Portland, but Phenom actually had some ideas in which he wanted to expand on that. So
yeah, we have a couple corporate opportunities. People have already started to take notice, and they're like, "Yo, how can we help you?" So we're kind of talking right now to decide, how we can get other players involved and start taking this across the country. I was supposed to meet with Las Vegas around May about getting this thing out there. I have some people out there that have been looking for an opportunity to get people together outside of a nightclub, because everything is so nightclub focused right now. This is such a different path. So people are like, "Yo, I can pull up, get a coffee, hang out." And it's cool. It's like kicking it on your front porch.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, bro, because oftentimes that is where we end up meeting up. If we're not at work, we're not taking care of the family or building with our family, that's where we go. But like you said, just like the New Year's Eve situation, right? You're in a space where you have these ideas you want to build, but it's really like, I can't even hear what you're saying. So that's one of the cool things about what you guys have done.
You're
is
like mixing a song in and you're like, "Hang on a sec."
Right.
Somebody's giving you a request and you're like, hold up.
So now with where things are, where we are, at least for the right now. So tomorrow was supposed to be the Chicago event.
Yeah, the Chicago launch was supposed to be tomorrow. That's going to get pushed to question mark.
Right.
That'll be it's happening. whatever.
To be determined.
Yeah.
And then so then that means the next Portland event was going to be this Wednesday.
This Wednesday, yeah.
So
we had a brunch plan too, and like that got pushed back. So we had like a lot of plans that were just kind of thrown out the window, essentially put on hold anyway.
Yeah. So when it comes to Dripset, is the idea at this point, hey, let's find a way to just stay connected through the ways that we can, and then meet up together when we're able to or we're allowed to? Or are you guys looking at trying to do something like we're doing now, building a community, a virtual community, to continue those conversations? Like, has there been any thought about what you want to do?
I think we can definitely spend this time building on the Instagram account and stuff like that, the socials, because we just took the ball and ran with it.
Right.
And it's crazy because everyone just showed up, and getting people to show up is the toughest thing, as you know, in the business.
Yeah.
So now that we did that, we're going to do like some Instagram stuff, some social media stuff on the back end, just to catch up to everyone that's been showing up and be like, hey, it's us, we're online. And then, you know, that's the mystery box. We can move from there.
That's what's up, man. So that's a thing, man. I mean, that's a real thing. And if people want to be involved in it, it is truly just a matter of like, this is where we're going to be. Come through. I mean, it's really that simple. Which, bro, like, you have to realize how like, that's not the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's often, it's just not always that easy, man. You guys have created this thing that's so open, so welcoming, and so simple, but has the potential, or has shown to be such a powerful move for what we strive to do, bro. I mean, I hope that's not lost on you guys, you know, what you've done thus far in such a short time, and how powerful it is.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I do. It takes me a while to kind of like think about that, because for someone to say it, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. But like, for me, it's just like, oh, the homies are just like hanging out. Like, what is such a big thing about it? But it is, we strive to keep it in a very relaxed manner, in which you come in, have like a cup of coffee, or maybe wherever it might be, we want it to be very relaxing, where people feel comfortable being there, not pressured to be there. It's just a big place that people, like, friends could just hang out. It's just
I think
everybody in the room is creative in their own sense. So, yeah.
I think people have been waiting to tell their story too. There's a lot of people that haven't had a platform and an opportunity to be like, yo, this is what I do, but I've just been in my bedroom and no one's really listened, you know? And now it's like shit, I got like, yeah, you know? Yeah.
100%, man. I mean, and that's so real. Once again, it's one of the reasons that I've been able to do what I do, because there are so many people I've got the talent. I just need the platform. So, you know, where do I find that? And that's what you guys it's a part of what you guys have created, which I think is really dope. But even to a bigger sense, it's community, man. I mean, at the end of the day, even those of us who are somewhat introverted or, you know, bedroom talented, we are looking for a community of like-minded individuals. And you guys have built it in a way that's a little bit different, because even though it's about the artistic and creative ideas and concepts, it's also about, like, you don't have to show up and perform. You just come through and build and meet new people and build relationships. And I just think some cool things are going to come from this. So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't take a minute to talk about the first two events, and in terms of where you did them. So they were both at Deadstock. People who are not from Portland, let them know about Deadstock.
So Deadstock Coffee is a sneaker themed coffee shop. They're just really good dudes, man. I've known the owner since I was like 10. We used to play like basketball together and stuff. So it's just one guy that he's just never changed as the person that he is, and he's genuine 100% no matter what. So I'm like, bro, like, anytime I can put you on of any sort, like, let me use this time to like bring people to your shop. Like, so he's super down for it. Also lived down the street, so convenience was definitely a key of that.
Yeah, I'm a couple blocks from Pierre, so
that was another thing. But yeah, Deadstock, it's exactly what we're building, what we're trying to build, like Deadstock Coffee and Podcast. Even on a regular day, Monday, whether it's Monday through Sunday, it doesn't matter. Like, people are just in there hanging out, chilling, kicking it, just shooting the shit with each other, talking about everything from politics, sneakers, to basketball, to quarantine things. Like, we just talk about everything, and it's very just relaxed. So that's kind of the vibe I wanted to set. And they definitely have helped us do that.
That's what's up, man. So you know, a local shop that's doing good things in terms of creating a platform, but just a dope shop. I mean, the whole idea behind Deadstock, I think, is pretty cool. So once people are allowed to travel again, a spot that I would recommend people go and check out. In this downtime, you know, as we some of us aren't able to go to work, you know, we're kind of locked in. As a creator, though, it can be, to a certain degree, I imagine, a good thing, a good time. Phenom, aside from DJing out in and around the city, well, in and around the country, you also produce, isn't that right?
Yeah, I have been producing music for, since high school, really, just for myself and for others. And, you know, I put stuff up on my SoundCloud, and it's a good time right now. Nothing is better motivation than being locked in your house to make music. Straight up. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've watched a lot of TV, I've watched a lot of documentaries and stuff, but right now is a good time to get the creative juices flowing when you're inside.
Right.
You know,
100%. If people want to check into what you're doing, what's the easiest way to kind of get a sense of where you're at right now?
All socials is just at PHNM, so Phenom with no vowels.
That's what's up, man. But I mean, in terms of the stuff that you produce, people want to listen to what you're doing.
Oh yeah, SoundCloud, Mixcloud. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I have a Bandcamp page. Yeah, I'm on all social. I'm on Spotify, everything. So you can get a hold of me on all of those.
That's what's up, man. In terms of production, are you like, is it you mentioned kind of producing for yourself and for the homies? Are you looking to collaborate with cats? Like, if people hear your stuff and they want to reach out, is that something that you're open to?
Absolutely, man. That's definitely part of this falls under the umbrella of the Dripset. If you want to link, I'm always down to collaborate, link on projects. And that's another dope thing too. We've already seen some people hit me up and be like, yo, we're working together on this project. We met at the first meetup. Yeah. And you're like, it's happening. It's working. We're doing it. We're making it happen.
Yeah.
You know, we met a photographer there, this dude, Connor, and he actually took pictures for Jupiter Williams and our side project. So there's everything you need is surprisingly in that room.
Right.
You know, you need people to show up to your gigs. They're there. There's people ready to support, you know?
100%.
It's awesome.
100%, man. And that's, again, I can't speak enough to how cool that is, to just see people who are like-minded, who really are looking for ways to collaborate with other folk. Like, you've put all of these people in that room, which is really dope. So Pierre, we talked a little bit about the garage sale Dripset. Obviously, that's where your creative mind is in terms of creating spaces. Anything else that you have on the horizon, or is Dripset kind of your primary focus right now?
Man, I have a couple things in mind that I want to do. With this whole thing going on, kind of getting pushed to the side right now. But yeah, I'm always trying to scheme some stuff to take over the world, man. Like, I got a lot of things in mind, and definitely just keeping ideas ready for when the opportunity comes. Yeah. Actually, I had a person that was one of the photographers. One of my friends that does photography for just some of the brands, and he was just like, well, with this whole thing, like, I might be out of work. And I'm like, you trying to make money? Say less. I got you. Ready. I got this thing planned out. So, yeah, I'm always ready. I got some things in the works. I'm going to keep it under wraps until the opportunity comes, but I'll definitely let you know when it pops up.
That's what's up, man. It's good to know, once again, that you guys are still working on stuff. One of the things that I think we were talking about before I turned the microphones on is, in a situation like this, man, especially when we're talking about creatives and people, especially people like yourself, Phenom, where that's what I do, and you're locked away from doing that, man. One of the things I think that can happen is people can really get in a bad place, you know, just because to a certain degree, they may feel like they've lost that creative outlet. On the flip side, though, we've seen, we're recording this the morning after D Nice did I think it was like a 5-hour set on Instagram. So there are definitely ways that people can
still be on there.
Exactly.
He may still be live.
True. And had over 100,000 people who checked it out. And so as creatives in different ways, the two of you guys, man, like, how do you keep your head in a time like this? And we're early into this situation, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be the test of, you know, will you make it out the other end? A lot, like I was talking with you earlier, Klyph, a lot of people are going to hang it up after this just because, you know, you got to make money. You know, so now we, you know, to touch back on what we were saying, now is the time to play catch up on social media. Now is the time to play catch up on live streaming, on all of that, you know. How can you take your product and continue to put your product out there without leaving your house?
Yeah.
You know, that's the mystery box right now. You know, how can you keep making noise without having a microphone in the streets?
Yeah. And I think that like, you know, that old adage, the cream rises to the top, because now you really do have to, like, yeah, D Nice had over 100,000 streams on what he did. But it's also D Nice, and he's nice with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that those who really put in the work are obviously going to be able to maintain. And then when this thing moves over, that will ideally create a bigger following for them, or a bigger fan base for them to continue on in their careers. And Pierre, it's got to be interesting, because the things that you do are, for the most part, the creative things that you do are really about connection, like tangible physical connection, coming together, building community. If you know, for folk who are in that lane, like, how do you keep your head, B?
I think just encouraging each other. I've seen a lot of it on social media itself. Unfortunately, because of this, it's affecting a lot of businesses, especially like in the Chinatown area, which is kind of, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, we're just trying to weather the storm. But just encouraging each other, just trying to, like, I've seen a lot of people posting like challenges and stuff that, like, just give somebody to, like, do something different to take your mind off of it.
Yeah.
I think just different ways to just stay intact and in tune with each other, keeping each other's spirits up, and just kind of, you know, just keep the creative juices flowing. Whether you're just shooting a text message, be like, yo, like, this thing that we were working on, like, do we continue to do so, or what can we do better when, you know, the time comes when we're ready to come back? But yeah, it's a tough spot for a lot of people that are freelancers or contractors or just small businesses trying to survive out here. I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see how things kind of evolve, but I think just trying to stay in touch and just making sure everybody's solid and making sure the relationships are still there. And I think that's the biggest thing, because overall, just make sure you, like, yo, are you good? Is your fan good? Like, your health good? Like, that's kind of the most important thing. So yeah, just keeping those relationships stable and checking them out, basically.
That's what's up, man. As sort of in that lane, not sort of, but in that lane, as people are hearing this, maybe they're hearing about Dripset, obviously within the Portland area, but even outside of Portland, and people are thinking about wanting to, like, how can I get involved? You guys have created this situation I really want to be a part of. What's the connect specifically with Dripset, the social or email that people can tap into?
We have a list that we've had people, like, sign up for, and we have done the events that we've done. But we just made a social media. I was trying to keep it to where it would be, like, more pop-up focused, so where you just got to catch it when you catch it. And I just think just being mysterious is kind of fun like that. Yeah. But because all this is kind of happening, like, we made a social media just to keep people in tune. I gotta find out what it is.
It's brand new,
right? Like, it's like this, like some exclusive.
we have no code. Like, we just made it. So on Instagram, it's just Dripset_INTL. So Dripset International. follow up. Just stay intact. If you have any questions, like me and Colin are on it, so we'll definitely answer it. Even though we haven't posted anything, we're still DMing people like, oh yeah, don't trip. Like we got some stuff working. But all of this, like we said, is pretty new. A lot of this is very free flowy, and we're just kind of like seeing how things go. But I think the main thing is just to stay in touch with people and keep those relationships alive, like I was saying. Just make sure everybody's good and on it, and let them know when the next one's on.
That's what's up, man. Yep. I just followed the Dripset International on Instagram, so I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be up on what's happening and when it's happening.
Yeah, man, we're just grateful for everyone to show up, man. You know, and like I said, the hardest part in any of this nightlife shit is getting people to show up. So we've been very fortunate with that.
No doubt. Like I said, I went to the last one in February, man. The room was packed, and it was just cool to see familiar faces, but it was cool to meet people or to put the face to the person that I'm connected with on social media. I mean, it's such a cool environment, and I just can't speak enough to how dope I think it is that you guys are doing what you're doing, and excited to see how this thing continues to grow. And my platforms are here and available for what you guys do, man. I hope you realize that, for real.
We definitely appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. Man, so it's crazy. I'm so grateful for these opportunities, the ability to connect with folk and continue to use platforms. And I can't say thank you enough for jumping on the podcast, man. Anything that you guys are working on that we didn't touch on, anything that you wanna let folk know that they should be checking for? You know, the latest book that you read, the newest Netflix that you streamed.
Man, I'm reading all the time. I got my books right here, man.
Oh, that's the song. You ain't joking.
Yeah. You want to read How Music Works by David Byrne? It's fantastic, man. But no, everyone stay inside, man. That's what I'm pushing right now. Stay inside. Let's get this over with so we can come back stronger than ever, so we can support you guys and keep this music shit alive, because it's questionable times right now.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think just stay tapped in. Just make sure y'all people are good. Make sure everybody stays healthy. Make sure you're checking up on your parents or your families, and just stay locked into the homies too. Because we are always trying to plan on something. So just try to keep everybody creative in this time of quarantine.
Yeah, no
doubt, man. Pierre Jury, DJ Phenom, y'all, man. Like I said, man. Thank y'all so much for being a part of what I do, man. I'm glad to have y'all telephone numbers locked into my phone. You know what I'm saying? And just looking forward to continuing to build with y'all, man. So thank y'all so much for being a part of this.
Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely. Check them out, man. Dripset _international on Instagram. Be on the lookout for more new things coming as they come. But in the meantime and in between time, stay inside. Hug your loved ones, man, because life is short, man. And we're just trying to stay positive through this situation. Remember, you can check out the Klyph Notes podcast everywhere you listen to your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, everywhere really. You can check us out at klyphnotes.com. And of course, you can check me out all over the internet at DJ Klyph, at DJ KLYPH. You can shoot me an email at klyphnotes@gmail.com. Let's utilize these opportunities to stay building. A couple shout outs I got to give. Big ups to my folk over at Akepele Apparel for their continued support of the Klyph Notes podcast. Check them out. They just released new gear recently, and just a dope local company. So check them out. It's Akepele Apparel, AKEPELE.com. Shout out to my folk at XRAY FM for their continued support of the Klyph Notes podcast. You can also check out the podcast on the XRAY Podcast Network, just at xraypod.com. And then last but never ever least, big ups to the homie, Theory Hazit, for creating the official theme song for the Klyph Notes podcast. All right, y'all, until we have an opportunity to do this again, y'all be blessed. Peace.